Welcome to the Warframe Weapon Encyclopedia, where today we are checking out the Ether Sword. You can get the blueprint for the Ether Sword from the market, and it's a remarkably cheap weapon indeed. The blueprint itself costs 20,000 credits, and then to build it you have to put in additional 20,000 credits, 4 Morphics, 700 Rubido, 900 Ferrite, and 700 alloy plates. The Ether Sword is a Mastery Rank 7, sword that does primarily slash damage with only a little bit of impact and puncture on the side. It unfortunately has pretty low crit at only 10% with a below average 1.5 times crit multiplier, though it does come with fairly high 34% status chance. And other than that, it has attack speed of 1, which is pretty good, and solid range at 2.5. That is not all though, because the weapon comes with a bit of a unique mechanic where whenever you do a slam attack, it will proc radiation as well as impact on any enemies hit by the slam. This only seems to work with light slam attacks though. For whatever reason, it doesn't actually do it on a heavy slam attack, and yes, you can actually do slam after slam after slam to stack the radiation and even the impact. This is actually not too bad as far as unique mechanics go, because if you find yourself in a bit of a terrible situation, you can do a quick slam attack and confuse all the enemies around you and give yourself some breathing room. So yeah, while it's not the most exciting thing in the world or the most damaging thing in the world, it's actually fairly useful. Now as far as the build goes, it's a pretty straightforward slash heavy hybrid. So we have Condi Overload for the damage, Berserker Fury for attack speed, Drifting Contact for the combo duration, though if you're running Naramon you can replace this with something else. Then we have Weeping Wounds to scale our status, and then a combination of fully ranked Current's Mandible and 1 ranked and 1 unranked dual stat mods which combine into Viral. It's also one of the weapons where I would recommend the Smite mod, because those are very strong on slash heavy weapons, and the vast majority of the damage you're gonna get from this weapon is gonna be in the form of slash damage over time. I usually don't do this because I'm not a big fan of having to swap my build around every time I'm fighting a different faction, but for a weapon like this, a Smite mod is perfect. If however you don't want to faff around with different Smite mods based on the faction you're fighting, just put in something else, like Primed Reach for example, so you get more range. Now as far as the damage goes, it's actually not too bad, especially since all the sword stances are very strong. But you can, unsurprisingly, feel the lack of crit in here, and it is really not worth investing into it because 10% is simply not enough. It doesn't stop the weapon from being pretty good though. You can actually take this into Steel Path and you're gonna be just fine. The main problem with the Ether Sword doesn't actually lie with the Ether Sword itself, it's that Warframe just has a lot of really good single swords. Even the fact that it's super cheap doesn't actually help it all that much, because we also have access to the Broken War, which is A, better, and B, free because you get it from the second dream. So in conclusion, even though the Ether Sword is a solid enough weapon on its own, it is just not a good enough single sword unfortunately. If it had a lower mastery rank requirement, then maybe I would recommend it, but as it is right now, I can't unfortunately do so. And that's pretty much it, so I thank you very much for watching as always guys, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.